Hello, this is Carrie, and I'm just going to walk you through a little screen tutorial on how to use research databases at Otterbein. So the first thing you're going to want to do is go to the Otterbein Library website, which is just otterbein.edu/library. And once you get to the website, right here on the landing page at the bottom, you'll see research databases. And I'm going to select that. Now, some databases are going to be more useful to you than others. These are all the databases that you can use. I would say for education, there are two that I use. One is Academic Search Complete, and the other one is under E, and it is Education Full Text. So those are the two that I use. So let's go back out to Academic Search Complete. And I'm going to get a search page. And actually, most of the research databases have a similar front page like this one. If I had a particular topic, so I'm interested in learning more about social emotional learning. So I'm going to put social emotional learning. Now, the nice thing is sometimes as you type, you'll get suggestions as to words that are used in this disciplines, and it might not be what you thought. Sometimes if you're having a hard time finding material, it may be that you need to use a different word to describe what you're looking for. And this is where your advisor can be really helpful. So if your advisor or your second reader, whoever is your content expert on your capstone team, that would be the person that would help you think about other words that would describe the content that you're thinking about. Okay, so when I look at this, I'm going to get lots of different articles about social emotional learning. And I'm really looking for something about social emotional learning and read aloud. You know, right now I've got 1,500 articles with social emotional learning somehow identifying with that resource. So I need to, skinny this up a little bit. So I'm going to do an advanced search. And this will just give me more than one searching criteria. So I've got social emotional learning as a topic, and I'm going to also add in here children's literature. Or here we go, children's literature picture books. So there's an example of that search term generation being really useful to me. So I'm just going to use these two fields. If you wanted to, you could limit this to publications that were very recent, maybe 2010 or more recent than that. But I'm just going to start with these two to see how many I get. So I'm going to hit search. And this is a nice size, catch to look through. I only have 22 articles to look through. So I've got picture books, portrayals of the transition to kindergarten. That's kind of neat. Using picture books to teach with and against social and emotional learning. And I could look through these titles, but titles only tell you so much. So the other thing I would suggest you do is once you find a title, like this one looks pretty interesting, using children's literature to strengthen social emotional learning. That's something kind of like what I'm thinking I'd like to do. So the first thing you can do is if you hit the title, it should bring you to the abstract. And the abstract is just a summary of whatever that particular article is about. So I can read this abstract, and that's much more efficient than trying to get the article and read the whole article just to determine if it's going to be useful. So my first tip to you is after you find something you think might be interesting, first read the abstract to make sure it's really fitting the need that you have. So this is really about using books to support children's social emotional learning. There's going to be a bibliotherapy kind of aspect to this. And it looks like they're talking about specific books. So I think this one could be useful to me. So my next step, once I've found that I think this is going to be a good article, is to actually go over here and find the full text finder. Sometimes the full text file will pop up in that first screen. So here we go. Now this particular journal, it looks like I might be able to get the full text. Now you can get the full text of any journal that Otterbein carries. There are occasions where you will want a journal article and it will tell you, well, Otterbein doesn't have that particular subscription, but you can always order those from OhioLink. It's a simple pop-up form. You look at your ID card and it has your library number at the bottom there. You enter that information and you will get an email, and usually within a week, that has the full text of that document, as long as it's something that is owned by an institution in the OhioLink system. It looks to me, though, that I'm going to be able to actually get this as a full text document, so I'll hit it, and there it is. This would be a good article for me to save and possibly use in my lit review. So that is the quick look at how to access some research or theory articles related to the topic that you might be interested in. In another couple of weeks, we'll talk about how to look for particular types of articles, which articles are research articles, which articles are more theoretical, and which are what we would call literature review articles in themselves. For now, I think it's important for you to get comfortable with a topic that you may want to pursue for your capstone, and to try to locate maybe just a couple of articles this week related to that topic, and do just a little bit of reading to get yourself familiar with the lay of the land in that particular topic. All right, give it a try. Good luck.